The more students I can speak to and the more people I can tell the story, I feel that this might help the future generation. I would like to go to my grave with the knowledge that it helped. There is no moment of being awake that I wouldn't remember the nightmares. I was born in Satu Mare, which is Transylvania. That part of the world belonged to Hungary for over 1,000 years. But after the First World War, it was given to the Romanians, and then in 1940 they lost it, and the Hungarians marched in, the Nazi Hungarians. And you know how Nazism started when Hitler came into power in 1933. Between 1933 and 45, he devastated the Jewish population of Europe, and as much as he wanted to annihilate us, he did not succeed completely. Before the war, we were completely integrated, and only those that were very religious and they were different, they were not popular. It came to the point where people were afraid to be friendly with Jews. And then when around the end, before they put us into the ghetto, then it was really terrible. And when we were being marched to the railroad station that morning, when they took us to Auschwitz, I had a letter in my hand. Nobody dared come close to take that letter. And I kept begging, please take this, drop it in the mail. They were going around with bullhorns, shouting, go to the railroad, see our Jews being taken out, and we're going to have a terrific Jew-free world. We were locked in, 80, 90, God knows how many. You can imagine what it was like to travel in a cattle car. It was created for animals, not for human beings. There was no bathrooms. What do you do when nature calls in the cattle cars? Some buckets and pots came around from the sides, and we had to use them in front of each other. In our third day, I saw a sign which said Birkenau. Now, my father never mentioned that he heard from the Voice of America, Birkenau. Then came the sign Auschwitz, the same thing, never heard of Auschwitz. And as the train was slowly moving, I saw this sign, which said, Arbeit macht frei, which means work will make you free. They opened up, young men in striped clothes like pajamas were standing behind each other, about 6 or 8, I can't remember. They were shouting, the dogs were barking, the SS were shouting, aus, aus, mach schnell, which means out, out, do it fast. We turned around, and there was this very handsome, very elegant, high-ranking officer standing, and we had to kind of file in front of him. As he was just taking a glance at us, he decided who shall live and who shall die by a finger and a thumb. He was just motioning left, right. Those did he choose to and let live, and those were the ones on the right. All the others, the old people, the pregnant women, the handicapped, or anyone that didn't look good to him, they were all sent to the left. Ethel and I were directed to the right, but our parents and her little boy in her mother-in-law's arms, they were already on the left-hand side, so my sister was running. The little boy had his arms stretched and crying, Mommy, Mommy. My sister was running towards him, and she was being beaten back. And there was no other way. I grabbed her and I said, come on, we have to go this way. And we had to run. We slowed down. I looked back and I looked at my mother. The expression on my mother's face at the moment of separation was so that I can never forget it. Whenever I think of my mother or have a nightmare, I see my mother with that expression.